So first of all, if you hear a little bit of extra background noise, now that it is winter, on the weekends and early mornings when I come in to videotape, the heat has not yet turned on, so it's very cold. So I have a little space heater going in the background to keep me kind of warm. So that's the extra noise that you hear in the background now that it's winter. But we are doing some language. You will need your black folder again. We have in here the beginnings of the prepositions and a bit of a review. Prepositions, they're a part of speech. They're a kind of word. In a sentence, they usually tell when, for example, about 10 minutes later, or where, for example, aboard the boat. Sometimes they will also tell why, for that reason, how, with the happy smile, or which, the girl in the green shirt. We are working to memorize some common prepositions, and you should know all of the A's that are the common ones in the list that I gave you. This week we are going to add the B's to that, and on Friday you will take another test. That test will require you to list all of the A's and all of the B's and to spell them correctly. Say thank you, Miss Yoder. You will definitely thank me in future years when you are in English class and they talk about figuring out where to put commas after prepositional phrases and how to vary the way your sentences are set up. Recognizing the prepositions will make things so much easier for you. This week, the B's are before, behind. There are fewer B's, so we're going to work mostly in pairs. Before, behind, below, beneath. So behind, below, beneath very much are telling where. Before, that would be more of a when. Before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between. And on Thursday, we're going to take 3. Beyond, but, and in this case, we need the word for to go along with it. If you just say but, I wanted to go to the movies, but Mom said no. In that case, the but alone, yeah, that sounded funny, didn't it? In that case, the but alone is what we call a conjunction. It's putting together two parts of the sentence. The way but becomes a preposition is when we say but for. It's not very common in current ways of speaking. It's more of an old-fashioned usage. The other preposition, the last B preposition, is by, like by the brook or by the road. Sort of a synonym for beside. Once these are written in, you have a sheet that looks like this week. And again, we'll do it in bits and pieces as we learn. These are Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, although you certainly could work ahead and go before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, but, by. And tack that onto aboard, about, above, across, after, against, along, amid, among, around, at. So you can memorize them all at once should you choose. That's perfectly fine, but you need to make sure they're in your long-term memory. What are two questions prepositions and the words that go with them can answer in sentences? I am not going to fill that in for you. You have information in your folder about the questions that prepositions and the words that go with them will answer in sentences. I would suggest you go with the questions that prepositions answer the most often, but the others would work as well. So fill in these two blanks as part of your assignment for today, and then also we need to use the first two prepositions, before and behind, as transitions Just remember, when you're beginning a sentence with a preposition, any of these words we're memorizing, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, but, by, that you need to put commas between the words that go with the preposition and the real sentence. So I kept this real sentence the same. The sailors dropped the anchor. Here we're looking at a time frame. So before what time? You figure that out. It doesn't even need to be a specific o'clock. It could say before too late in the morning, or before it was totally dark. Number 2, behind what the enemy army attacked. Were they behind something that had been hiding them? Were they behind a first army that charged? Very often cavalry charges first, the guys on the horses, if you're talking historical armies. So behind the cavalry charge, comma, the enemy army attacked. It is entirely up to you. That is the only part of the assignment for prepositions for Monday that you need to send. And if today doesn't happen to be Monday, it's the only part of the prepositions for today that you need to send.